Hello, and welcome to a new side Let's Play. If Harry Potter has not been finished yet, I assure you it is still getting finished. I simply wanted to experience this game with you guys before I get bored of it. Because we played Princess Maker together a very long time ago, if you have remembered. Or if you can't remember, this is a bit awkward actually. But anyway, Chinese Parents is a lot like a more modern take on Princess Maker, and the whole idea is to get your child into a good profession. And like you can see, I have unlocked quite a bit of profession. Today, instead of aiming for specific professions, we are gonna wait until our parents give us an expectation for they do at some point, and then we're gonna follow that expectation. And you can see this is gonna be my generation 7. Up until that point, we're gonna be collecting the traits that I do not have, because collecting a trait ends up giving you extra points into these increases in talents, and that makes you quite OP over time. Like you can see, my trait gallery completion is 39% currently. I will explain how the game works, and then I will skip over some bits. And at the same time, I will read out... Oh god. My cat just made such a weird noise. I think he tried to yawn and meow at the same time, and it ended up being very squeaky. But yes, and when our weeks go by, I will read an event every time when it comes up for the first time. The second time and onwards, we're gonna skip reading it because we already know what it does. Time flies. The former child has grown up and has become a parent of their own. Who would have thought that I, Bill, am old enough to have a kid of my own now? I'll be sure to give my kid a good education and not repeat my parents' mistakes. Funny that they keep on saying that when I'm giving them a good professions. They're all filthy rich. Whenever we go back to your family home, I can't help but think you're exactly like your father. What are you looking at? Come and change the diaper. This is your main way to increase your stats. Outside of the first few increases though, it really doesn't matter because this is what will be giving you the most of your stats. Pray excuse my cat. He likes to meow. There will be knowledge in here eventually that you will want to collect in order to learn skills. And all of your exam results and what you do in your job will depend on your skills. So like this will be a very important window. So now what we want is to get to 300 IQ. For that will be the first expectation that we're gonna get. Therefore we're gonna waste all of our energy on just gathering IQ. For that is all that we can do currently. I will also introduce to you every new mechanic that's gonna appear on the screen, but this is the minigame that we're gonna be playing the most. All we can do is turn over for now, which actually means that we're a boy. This is very interesting actually. I've noticed how to locate your character's sex before they give you a sex, because at like a second or third turn you get a sex and you get to name your baby. But it's turn over if it's a boy, and it's crawl if it's a girl. And gameplay does change quite a bit depending on whether or not you're a girl or a boy. And ent is entertainment. And you want to give your child at least 2 entertainment in a week. Because otherwise they're gonna be very stressed and very sad, and they're gonna die of stress eventually. You don't want that to happen. And study is what makes your parents happy. And it's what increases your stats, what helps you learn the knowledge, and what helps you progress in life. So obviously study is very, 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 very important. So now we have our schedule set up. We used all of our energy. This is our knowledge points. We can't learn anything yet. We're like 0 years old. So let's just turn over a lot. Practicing how to turn over. Face is a thing that lets your parents compete with other parents. The game explained this a bit later. Essentially, it's how good of a kid you look like to other parents, and that makes your parents look better. And if you don't look that good to other parents, your parents get upset with you and they cause you a lot of stress. Say Daddy! After long sessions of Say Daddy, you finally give in and repeat it, which makes a daddy proud. Daily in-laws arguing. Mom and grandma are arguing as to whether you should be using diapers or paper diapers. I have not had this experience. I grew up specifically with the plastic fake diapers, though I think I would be using the reusable kind if I was raising my own kid these days, because I use a lot of reusable products on myself, and washing them often is not that much of a hassle, actually. Loose bowels. The cold got to you last night as Dad fell asleep, which had given you loose bowels. Oh no! -2 EQ and -5 charm. We're not a very charming baby. Quite interesting that it's EQ, because EQ is like... It's weird, it's like the social currency. It's a bit like charm. Essentially, it makes other people like you more and is used in artsy subjects. Constitution is the one that directly affects your health, though. We're practicing to turn over some more, and now we're clapping to the music. Your parents play classical music and let you clap along with the music. Oh, how good of my parents. The art style is impecular. I actually really like this kind of thing. It is quite charming. Now we can actually learn some skills. And yes, as you can see, they want to demand that we have more IQ. Yes, I know, we know how to get fragments and everything, and like you can see there's skills to learn. Like you can see some skills are really, really large. Well, as our EQ increases, the price of those skills will drop. However, because we have quite a lot of increase here, that's happening per turn. You don't start with that much, that's just me being great at collecting traits and bringing it generation to generation. We don't have to bother with the minigame as much, we only will be doing it mostly for knowledge. We are gonna call him... I think I already used majority of short words, but he can be Rob. I had Bill, Bob, Jeb... I had a lot. I don't remember all of them. I like short names, it makes my kids short to pronounce. And this is a knowledge crystal. Knowledge crystals will always give plus 25 knowledge. You do wanna quite a collection of them, it makes the other game, late game, much easier, trust me. That is done, as we did not learn anything new yet. We're not learning anything because it's gonna get cheaper next turn because we're gaining stats on auto. We're just gonna go next turn. You see a pretty girl, begin laughing happily and stretch out your hand to touch you. To touch her, rather. I don't remember if I did that as a 1-year-old baby game. A relative holds a birthday party with many friends attending, none of which you know. You won! No shit, you don't remember them. You were just born, my son. We get loose bowels again. I suppose this place just isn't very hygienic. And we turn over some more. Dear, nurturing a child is very important. They need to learn as many skills as possible. Focusing on learning skills is the key to success. I feel like he's currently directly blaming his wife for me choosing not to learn any skills. This is quite interesting. Remember to learn skills, the narrator says, for you absolutely must, for that's how this game functions. But we're gonna collect some more knowledge. We're not gonna be studying to be patient because being patient is still very expensive. In high school years, we may have to start... Ah, yes! You can go up a floor. Going up a floor gives you extra 50 action, and at the same time it gives more stat bonus for every time when you click on stats, meaning every time when a game lets you go up a floor, you go up a floor. There's no reason not to. The only thing that's not influenced by the 9% stat bonus is unfortunately knowledge gain. Knowledge gain stays as plus 25% no matter what you do. These stats are nearly at their minimum knowledge cost, which means we're gonna pick up both. At 2 years old, poor Rob has now learned how to walk and talk. He was completely mute up until this point. Now we no longer need to turn over. We can walk and we can talk. Now this is an important section. Some skills that we gain, I have not had traits for yet, and they're gonna appear in the not yet acquired section. We're gonna be spamming those skills in particular because I want more stats for the next baby in this generation that gets bored. You are following this game. Or am I the only one that's following this game? If you're confused, just please interrupt me in the comments. I'll try to explain it. You see, I have played like 12 hours of it, which I'm pretty sure is far too long. Practicing how to walk. Practicing speaking. Once again, you work as a catalyzer and the family arguments are resolved. I'm not sure what catalyzer means. I am also not too sure about how can a 2-year-old intermediate in family arguments. More birthdays where we don't remember anyone. You grab a small box, which you refuse to part with. Mom feels embarrassed and puts it back. Why yes, you can't have everything that you want in life, Rob. That's not how life works. You'll learn to speak soon enough. Yes, I remember to learn new skills as they become available. We can now run, because once again, it's in a minimum knowledge cost. At some point, I will start ignoring the minimum costs, because we will never realistically reach them, which is okay. These buttons let you increase your stat per round. I have not seen a particular, need for these. Like, I think I tried a few runs where I used a lot of them. It just didn't work out that great for me, so when there's nothing else to press, I will collect them from time to time, but honestly, just getting more study points is much better. Mom puts you in front of the mirror. This is the first time you see yourself, and that is when you decide to wave to the mirror. I think that's gonna increase her charm. You sense kindness in the world. EQ plus 25. It wasn't the charm that got increased, but I'll take it. I'll take that EQ increase. Thank you very much. Always choose the choice that you think is gonna give you bonus stat, because some choice will give you minus stat, and then you're gonna be a sad cookie. Like you can see, this is our expectation screen. Completing expectation gives you stats. Sometimes it gives you action points. I often will complete expectations just for that action point increase, for that is very nice indeed. Have we learned the trait from running? No, we haven't, hence why it's in the not yet department, and hence why we're just gonna do a lot of running. Fuck speaking properly, if you can just run for miles. Practicing how to run. Mom lets you pick one of the 2 toys to buy, but you grab both in a death hold. Obviously, a bunch of people might have done that. This tells me that 17,000 people had a similar experience to mine. You start crying whenever you're criticized, and your family shares this with everyone. Ugh. I don't remember what my family shared about me when I was 3 years old. They haven't shared it with me. Most of the children always play together, but you think the lone kid is the coolest. Good on you, 3-year-old. Ah, we can learn how to swim now. I have not used random bonuses that often, but it's a random bonus. It's like +1 a turn to a random thing. There we go, +1 memory. Let's collect a few knowledge points before we go down. Never go down if you are less than 50 points out of, maximum points, because that is just a waste, and don't be wasteful. That is not good for the Mother Earth. Never be wasteful. Sure, we'll learn how to baby swim because we're cute. We're gonna wait for that to reach the minimum possible, which is gonna be next turn, I assume. Ah, it now seems to think that we have actually acquired Run. And we're heading to kindergarten, for we're gonna turn 4 years old soon. We're practicing to baby swim. There we go, new trait acquired. Wave Breaker. Traits can be used in phase battles. I have no idea if they have any other uses, besides giving you more stat points the next generation over. Your neighbor's husky Fluffy looks at you and you look at Fluffy. It's as if you're communicating. Obviously, we all have stared at a cute fluffy animal before. Your cousin comes over to play and your mom gives her a toy which you haven't used for ages. You learn to make faces all on your own, but your dad tells you to never roll your eyes again. I have not known a child that has been specifically taught to make faces. A relative is coming to visit us soon. Behave yourself and don't embarrass me. I don't want to lose face over your behavior. What's face? When you outperform others and show off your superiority, you save face. Otherwise, you lose face. The father says in earnest. Yes, I have explained the face mechanic before, but here we go. Here's the game explaining it. We can now be patient. There are many people on the subway. You were unhappy, but calm down after I comforted you. It looks like we have learned more about this world. How not to scream and shout inside a subway. Or you hate it. With all your gut. I normally click around looking for the exit, because if you find the exit, that's always good. We can wait for these to decrease a little bit. Let's do the face minigame. We will not be allowed to progress unless we do this. I seem to have gained this stat from running, and I seem to have ignored myself getting that stat. As you can see, some stats are better than others. You don't want to get common stats that much, you want to get the epic traits. Traits! It's traits, not stats, me. That's what it is. Traits. You're still as cute as ever. Fake familiarity. Just look at the little one turning over. What a quick learner! She points at her 4-year-old child. Your child has a promising future. Flatter. It insults our dear heart, for we can't flatter back. We went back to our hometown by car, but my child insisted on running. Wow, what a moron! My child just loves studying. Fake comment. My child can stay in the pool for ages and eat nothing but seafood. My child knows everything. So shameless. My kid loves speaking and is really talented. Let's go to Hokkaido together. Flaunt wealth. I don't mean to boast that my child's got flow, but that's the honest truth. The opponent was completely shredded by us. The opponent didn't even put up a fight. Face plus 38. If you don't have enough stats to beat an opponent, it's okay as long as you finish the battle with higher face than them. Nothing much happens if you lose the fight, but if you win the fight, you will always gain a bit of face, and gaining a bit of face is always nice. So,